God. Ask God.
Hi, Scott. This is Jervis. I really enjoy the podcast. Had a quick question. I've been doing wholesale on FBA for a while, and we're starting to do private label. And I was just wondering, when you do your tax collection, do you actually use the tax code and apply taxes so that it gets collected when they make purchases, or do you just take it out of your profit? Thanks.
Hey, Jervis, thank you so much for the question. And wow, we've gotten some tax questions today. This is a little different, though. This is sales tax that you're talking about, I'm pretty sure. Okay, let me touch on this. And again, I know a lot of people have heard me in the past and they've had questions, and the sales tax thing is just a very, very complicated mess. And I don't think anyone really knows the right thing as far as what to do. As far as what sales tax to collect, where, what jurisdiction, all this stuff. All I can do is give you a reference to, or a resource to go check out TaxJar. That's what I use currently right now. And they have a ton of information, and they're very helpful. So if you have any questions, I would reach out to them and ask the questions there. Everyone has their own philosophy on this. I personally I did go ahead and file in the states that I'm sending inventory to, and some of the ones that I am doing most of my sales in. Now, some say, well, you have to do it in all of them, and I'm not really sure what the answer is. So I'm going with the ones that I sell the most in right now, and the ones that I send my inventory to. Those are the ones that I'm definitely doing the sales tax in. I'm eventually going to be filing in all the states. I think right now there's 12 or 14, but TaxJar will give you that information. But from what you were asking, yes, you do not want to not collect the sales tax if you're going to be paying it, because then you don't want to pay out of your profit. So if you are collecting sales tax for, let's just say, California, well, you are going to check that box in the back end of the Seller Central. They're going to start adding that cost to the customer. So the customer is going to be paying for that. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to then, at the end of that pay period, after that 2 weeks, you're going to actually look and see how much sales tax was collected. Now in TaxJar, it does all that work for you. So all you have to do is kind of see what was collected and what you need to basically separate. So going back to the question I was talking about with income tax, it's very similar. So if you just got paid $10,000 from Amazon, and then you go into your TaxJar account and you see that you collected $800 in sales tax, well, out of that 10 grand, you better take $800 and put it on the side, because now when you pay your sales tax for those states, you need the money there instead of dipping into, the other account or whatever, or, your main account. So you want to keep things separate. I divide my stuff up by savings accounts. And then this way here, it's not being touched. It's not being mixed. And then this way here, when the time comes, I'll automatically either just transfer it over and then it gets dispersed, or I just pull it from that savings account, or have them pull it from that savings account. So another little complicated mess that the sales tax thing is, don't let that stop you. But what I do recommend is playing by the rules. And, I do believe that everyone should be following the rules with Amazon, because of course we know it's their playground, and we need to play by their rules. And I would definitely recommend following them as closely as possible. At least, do what you think is right. That's what I'll leave that at. Now, TaxJar, like I said, a wealth of information. I would strongly recommend visiting that site. Don't get overwhelmed, because there is a lot of information, but then I would reach out to them, and I would even contact support and ask any questions you have there. And they may even, they had someone, I think, that they referred me to. I never did go down that road. I actually ended up hiring my father to help me out with this. And I basically told him that he would take care of the sales tax portion of it and I would pay him. He's retired. So I kind of found a retired guy that, needed a little bit of extra money or wanted a little extra money, and he's going to help me out. So you might be able to find an accountant that'll help you out with this as well. So I would look into that, but that's my long-winded answer on that. I know it wasn't, It wasn't the best answer as far as like, well, I guess it was. It was telling you that, yeah, you don't want to take it out of your profit. You want to collect it, and then you want to disperse that money that the customer paid. Because if you're collecting sales tax, they should be paying that sales tax. And I know some people have said, well, don't you see your sales going down if you see sales tax in there? People will abandon the cart. I don't see a difference, but I mean, who knows, but I don't think so. I mean, you're gonna start seeing it more and more. So I wouldn't necessarily worry about it. So that's my take on that sales tax as far as separating it. I would definitely separate it and make sure that you're collecting it. If you're going to be paying it. You don't want it to come out of your pocket necessarily. So that's pretty much what I would do. If you guys want to submit a question, head over to theamazingseller.com/ask, and you can do that. I want to also, again, remind you guys, if you're brand new and this is your first time to the show, I want to welcome you. I love hanging out with you guys. This is just awesome to be able to virtually connect like this. And that's why I love the Ask Scott sessions. But if you are brand new and you're just getting your feet wet and you don't understand the entire process, the entire business model, I would recommend attending one of my live free workshops. This is where I break it down for you in 5 phases: how to pick a market and a product, how to source it, how to do a pre-launch, how to do a launch, how to promote the product, and everything in between. We go over that on a workshop, and we go through every single thing. We also do live Q&A. So if you want to attend one of them, I would love to invite you to the next one, and you can register for the next one by heading over to theamazingseller.com/workshop, and you can register there for an upcoming workshop. Well, hey there. Thank you so much for listening to that episode of Ask Scott. Now, that was just a highlight from one of our full episodes where I generally answer 3 to 4 questions on a podcast. If you want to go back and listen to all of the past archives of not just the Ask Scott session, but all of the full episodes where I do interviews with top Amazon sellers, people starting from scratch and building a business, if you want to listen to any of those episodes, head over to theamazingseller.com, and you can find all of that over there. You can also find details there on how you can ask your own question and get it aired on an upcoming Ask Scott session, and possibly see it here on YouTube or just on the podcast. All right, so definitely head over to theamazingseller.com. There's tons of resources over there for you to be able to build your e-commerce and Amazon business. So definitely go check that out. Now, I just wanted to remind you one thing before I let you go. There's a lot of information out there, and some of it is really, really good. But what I want you to remember is you have to not just consume the information, you have to actually apply that information. So take this information that you learned here today and apply it to your business. And this way here, you can get results. As my shirt says, I wear it almost daily. Take action. We'll see you guys.